Hey there, friends and enemies, Jopa here again, and today I want to compare two upcoming MMOs in Throne and Liberty and New World Aeternum, both of which are dropping this fall and have had betas over the summer. And luckily I've been able to play both. I'll be able to talk a lot about the Throne and Liberty beta, not really the New World one, because it is a closed beta. You can't go over any details within it, can't show off any gameplay, but I'm actually going to talk about what we know publicly from the developers, as both of these games are actually already in the wild in certain ways. So, for example, Throne and Liberty is out in the East, where you can already play this game, and they've already identified a bunch of the problems with it, while New World has already dropped on PC quite a while ago, but now it's getting revamped for not only PC, but also its upcoming console release. And I do think that there's going to be a difficult choice for players to make on console because there aren't a lot of competitors out there. I've talked about this in past videos where I think you will have to decide whether you want to put your time into Throne and Liberty or New World. So I want to kind of give some pros and cons of each and why I think one will be the direction I'm leaning over the other. So first off, Throne and Liberty. This beta was a lot of fun for me. It is a gorgeous game. One of the best looking games, MMOs that I've played probably ever, to be honest. It is absolutely beautiful. I enjoyed what I got to play of the story so far. The voice acting I thought was pretty solid, and there's a lot of things to like there. The combat to me initially was fun. It did get a little bit stale, and I do worry about the progression, although they have mentioned they are changing that a bit before full release. And what I mean by that is right now you have a big gap where it feels like you get all of your abilities right away. You can jump into the game. It can be really fun. How classes work is very interesting because you have, instead of pure classes, you essentially pick weapons, where I might have a great sword and a wand, or you might have the double crossbows with a sword and shield, and you can mix and match them for interesting abilities. The downside being, because you have all of your abilities right away, it doesn't feel like the progression is there. I'm not unlocking new classes. I'm upgrading my weapons, but I wasn't earning new abilities as much as I would have liked. And eventually you get upgrades for your abilities, but it didn't feel like it was a sense of progression that I was looking for. The open world for the combat felt pretty standard MMO, which is you go and you do some of these quests, kill some monsters, grab some items, take it back to a new location as you are uncovering the world. So I feel like they could have mixed that up quite a bit more and done something a little bit more interesting. I understand they want to have the ability for farming mobs. You have the ability to repeat these quests as well, but it just felt like that was a little bit lackluster, and hopefully that's something that I identify in the future as well. Whereas jumping into New World and going over all of the changes that they've listed, it does sound very, very interesting because I'm really excited about the direction the game is heading as somebody who has not played it as of yet. So what they've announced so far is cross-platform. Obviously, you can play on PC, you can play on Xbox or PlayStation, large-scale PvP zone for the first time, a 10-player raid, which sounds really, really cool, and I'm looking forward to trying out, endgame solo trials, revamped leveling experience, new character archetypes, revamped dialogue, other features like cinematic introductory experience, improved quest flow, in-game cinematics, pre-rendered scenes. It sounds like they're making it more similar to Throne and Liberty. Throne and Liberty also had a really unique way to do, instead of mounts, you transform into different animals that allow you to traverse the map, whether it's flying, going in the water, traveling across land. I thought that was really cool. Whereas New World is going to have more traditional mounts, quality of life updates, and all that kind of good stuff. PC players who own the base game of New World and the Rise of the Anger Earth expansion before the release will receive a free update that includes all the new content. And so comparing these two is interesting. Both of them are focused on PvP, which I think is not really always been my thing in MMOs. However, I will say that these games look a little bit more interesting when it comes to PvP and also provide enough PvE content that could keep me engaged for quite some time until I got comfortable jumping into PvP. That being said, I think of the two, I am personally leaning towards Throne and Liberty a bit more at this point. I think New World does a lot of things very well. And the reason that one might have the advantage is Throne and Liberty has been out in the wild for a while. And we've seen the flaws, we've seen the positives, the negatives, all that stuff. But they've had time to revamp the things that weren't working. So they might have learned some lessons. This could be their version of Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn, where we saw a game that was completely underwhelming transform and is now one of the biggest MMOs in the entire world. That's my hope for New World, and if that is the case, I will be locked in, jumping in, enjoying it. A lot of long-term players of New World are frustrated, though, because it feels like some of their systems have been catered towards more casual players, which, as those players who have put in a lot of time, energy, and effort, that can be a bit frustrating. Throne and Liberty is definitely going to be grindy, but I do worry that it's one of those games that I'll enjoy for the first 60 days or so. I'll enjoy for a while. I'll really go through the campaign, enjoy the cinematics, enjoy all the beauty of it, the combat, and then eventually I will lose that bit of focus like I have with other MMOs in the past, just because it lacks the substance that I'm looking for with an MMO. Whereas with the different content updates and everything we've gotten so far with New World, it feels like they're going to be able to add more specifically to the end game that will keep me engaged over the long haul. But again, initial impressions with Throne and Liberty were very good for me, and as somebody who doesn't play currently any fantasy MMOs, I'm looking for one to fill that role, and I hope everyone kind of looks at these two games side by side and decides which one is going to be right for them. I'll be trying both of them out. So yeah, Throne and Liberty is dropping on September 17th, while New World Aeternum is dropping on October the 15th. And so both of these are going to leave you with a decision to be made. Throne and Liberty being free to play will allow me to try that out for the first month. If I'm not vibing with it, then I can rotate over to New World and see if that one's going to scratch the itch, or if I can enjoy either one of these or both of them potentially, but that's going to be extremely time consuming. So I'd love to hear from you guys. Which direction are you leaning? Are you definitely going to be playing one or both of these new MMOs? Well, existing MMOs essentially. So I'd be very curious to hear from you guys on that. Let me know in the comments down below. My name is Jopa. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and let me know which of these games you're looking forward to playing and which one I should be playing and making content on. Have a good one, and I'll catch you all later.